Hi, good morning. Welcome to another Buzzing Chat show here on Buzzing Pattaya. And to today's topic, which is how can you work here in Thailand? Now, many people come over here, they fall in love with the country and they want to come back. Maybe you're too young to retire. Maybe you're not able to retire and you need to generate some funds. So what I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to showcase the most common ways of you to work out here and things that I know about that people here have done and have been successful with. So fingers crossed, one of these options will tick the box that you need, and who knows, maybe you will be out here in the not too distant future. Incidentally, I'm on the balcony, as you can see. Sun's beaming down on my bonnet, and in case you're wondering, I cut my head when I was shaving. I had a big razor and whacked it across, and there you go. And yes, on the balcony, I'm courtesy of all the noise. But thank you very much to those of you that are supporting me through Patreon. Hopefully in the very, very near future, this will be a thing of the past and we'll have a nice dedicated area where I can work from in the peace and quiet. All right, and incidentally, if you are interested in supporting what we're doing, there is a link in the description below for the Patreon. So have a look on there, some exciting projects and lots of things are happening inside that platform. Okay, so today, as always, I'm going to put the overlays on so you don't have to stare at me. There we go. All right, so how can you live out here and how can you stay out here long term? Well, the most obvious one that springs to mind is teaching. There are huge amounts of schools out here, from elementary schools up to universities. And depending on your qualifications, you can pretty much find a job. They're always looking for foreign teachers, particularly in Bangkok. That seems to be the biggest area that most places are where they're looking. And the salary, the salary is good. Certainly it affords you to be able to live out here. That's not an issue. So if teaching is your thing and you want to get involved, there are lots of schools here, and it doesn't hurt to ping an email across to all the schools and say, look, this is what my speciality is. Are there any opportunities? You may strike lucky, you may not, but at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt to ask. Likewise, if you don't have any qualifications, you can do what they call a TEFL. And you can do the TEFL course. They're always available. They give you the elementary basic standard qualifications, which then will permit you to come out here and work. What I would say is teaching may seem a great idea at the time, but you've really got to be very keen on it, because I think it can get quite laborious and quite boring, and of course you're restricted on your day off and stuff like that. So just bear that in mind, guys, if that's your route. And likewise, if you can speak Chinese, it seems to be a huge push now. There is a lot more Chinese curriculum that have been pushed into the schools. So who knows, if you can speak Chinese or Mandarin or whatever it is that they can speak, then, crack on, guys. You may have a very good opportunity there. Technical. Are you one of the tech gurus out there that you can share your knowledge and your experience here in Thailand? Now, if you are, there's a lot of opportunities here, particularly for web developers. There's a huge amount of websites that are being built here in Thailand, and they're being built for customers that are all around the world. So if you are a web developer, then there's an opportunity here for you. Likewise with iOS and Android applications. Again, if you can develop these, then that again gives you a step in the right direction coming out here. There's obviously all the other technical stuff like JavaScript and all those kind of engineers. It's a very technical world, obviously, but if you're one of those people that can decipher all that stuff and work within those type of formats, there are big opportunities out here. And it's not unusual to find a guy out here that's doing that kind of work that can bring in a salary of at least 100,000 baht a month, which if you watch my other video about how to live out here, you'll see that that is a very good amount of money to live on, and you can have a great lifestyle out here. One of the other additional aspects of this kind of work is, of course, you can work remotely. So you're not necessarily tied to an office. You can work from home. I know a lot of guys here that work here that work on a laptop. So it does give you a lot more flexibility. And imagine, you want to go and do some work, so you just pick up your laptop and you go down to one of the islands, sit on the beach and do your work. I mean, how cool is that? Talk about a perfect lifestyle. So there are opportunities there for those of you that are technical, and certainly there's a lot of call for that kind of work out here. Marketing. Marketing, don't forget, people kind of get conditioned to think, oh, the marketing is only limited to Thai companies. It's not. There are a lot of multinational projects out here, and there are a lot of companies that will be looking for people that can do marketing, maybe in English, and or to other dedicated countries. So don't write yourself off if you're thinking about a marketing opportunity, because they do exist and they are out there. Because it's a digital world, obviously again you can work remotely, so you can still work from home. You might be required to go to an office. I mean, we have some digital marketing companies here in Pattaya that are office based, so again you would have to go into the office. But nevertheless, you know, if you do find yourself in that situation, well then maybe you can work from home as well, which is great. And of course you've got the SEO and the pay-per-click campaigns. You know, again, these big companies, they're looking for experts, people that can guide them and help them achieve their targets. You know, it's all well and good putting these adverts out. I've done it myself. I've put out some adverts thinking, yep, that'll be okay, and I haven't got the results I wanted. Then likewise on the other side of the coin, I've given it to someone that actually knows what they're doing, and hey, guess what? The spooky result was it worked. So, you know, if you are into the digital marketing world, there is an opportunity there for you. One of the other areas that a lot of people tend to come into is real estate. So we have a lot of big projects here, and there's a lot of big projects, not just here in Pattaya, but also around Bangkok and Phuket, you know, pretty much around the country, to be fair. And they require salespeople, they require people to fill out the contracts and help with the marketing and the projects. So real estate is an opportunity. Likewise, there are real estate companies here that are looking for staff. And you know, people that come over here to buy a property, I'd say 95% of the time are not Thai people. So, you know, if you are a Westerner and you're coming out here and you want to buy a property, the chances are you probably want to speak to a Western salesperson to help you through the process. So, you know, have a look at the real estate companies. One of the things that people do, and I know people that have done it, is they sell real estate and they work from home. So they'll put their adverts, they'll go out, they'll go seeing all the signs on the properties that are around here, because they always have for sale boards outside. They'll take down the number, they'll basically give them a call, say, look, can I try and promote your property? Can I come and take some photos? They'll try and sell it. And they work from an internet-based perspective in terms of Facebook and social media. Maybe they've got emailing lists and stuff that they create and have nurtured. So you can do that. It's not unusual, and it does happen, but reading between the lines, all I want to say to you is just be careful with that, because, you know, it can come back and bite you on the arse. Foreign embassy and the consulate. Now, these are premier jobs out here. For the simple effect is that you know, you get all the benefits. You get your pension. The pension, they offer you a pension here. You get a healthcare. The healthcare they give to the embassy consulates, fantastic. It's top quality. You also get a very good salary, and of course, with that salary, you get a lot of benefits. So, you know, be very aware that if you get a job there, you are pretty much well set up for a long term here. But they are very hard to get. There's no easy way around it. They are very hard to get, these jobs. So you have to be at the top of your game. If you are interested in trying to find work along in the embassies, you know, check out their website. They'll all have HR departments. They'll all have people that you can contact, and it doesn't hurt. You know, what's the worst that can happen? You chuck in an email and say, hey, this is me, this is what I do, this is where I'm from, and do you have any opportunities that I may be able to apply for? And what's the worst that can happen? They say, not right now, but we'll keep your details on file. And maybe, you never know, maybe you might get a knock on the door when you very least expect it, and it'll be your ticket to come out here. One of the other popular things that get people employment out here is diving instructors. Now, obviously, you know, you've got the PADI qualification. And the nice thing about the diving is, obviously, I'm guessing 99% of you will be diving around all the islands, which is a fantastic workplace. Imagine that. You know, I'm just going to go out to work today and I'm going to go diving down around the PP Islands and stuff like that. You know, beautiful islands. We have diving schools here in Pattaya, but you know, one of the things about the diving courses and the diving schools is just be very aware that obviously it is mainly aimed towards tourists. So a lot of your business will be teaching tourists or diving with tourists. So of course, not right now, but when the normal seasons return, obviously you will be suffering through low season. So again, that's something to bear in mind and be very aware of, because it will impact if you're getting based on a commission basis. If you aren't a qualified diver but you want to learn, you can do what they call the PAD IDC, which is the instructor development course. And it normally takes about 4 months to achieve, from what I'm told. I might be wrong, so please correct me if I've got that wrong, but I think it takes about 4 months for you to get your qualifications. But it does open up a huge gateway of opportunities. And you know, we have some fantastic islands, you know, both here in Pattaya, obviously down in Phuket, all around the islands. You know, there really are some amazing places to dive, and if that's your thing, well then go for it. You know, you can learn to be a diving instructor. It doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to be one to start with. You can come over, maybe do your courses, set your goals, and say, right, I'm going to learn to dive, and then I want to become a diving instructor. And within 4 to 6 months, you never know, you might have that perfect dream job, and you might be doing exactly that. So don't write it off. Give it some consideration, some thought. You never know. You know, as they say here, never say never. Multinational companies. Now you might be thinking, what on earth is he going on about? Now we have places like the Amata Trading Estate. Massive, massive, huge companies. And of course, inside all those companies, you know, they do look for English speaking staff, and you might actually already be working for a multinational company. So maybe it's worth going to the HR department and asking if there's any transfer opportunities available over here. Because we do have a lot of industrial, you know, obviously we've got the Lamchabang just up the road, which is a big shipping industry. Again, huge multinational companies are there. So if you are working in a multinational company, never, you know, why not pop in and go and speak to HR and see if there's any transfers available. If there are, generally speaking, that the salary will be on par with what you're getting back in your home country. So that's a bonus, because the chances are you'll be earning a lot more back home than what you would if you came out here and started work afresh. If you transfer across, well then obviously you've got that added bonus that you're going to keep your salary, roughly speaking, on the same level. And a lot of these multinational companies are particularly interested in people that are in the finance industry, also, you know, accounting, and of course engineers. So, you know, if you are in a multinational company back home, or you want to apply to a multinational company, again, you know, guys, don't write it off. You know, don't dismiss it. It doesn't hurt to send emails. You could send 1,000 emails and you might get that one lucky reply. You know, don't give in, don't give up. If that's your dream to come out here and live and work, you know, pursue it, don't give it up. Hotels. With the hotels, you know, we do have obviously big hotel chains here, and they do require, quite often, they do look for European, Western people to come in and take over positions, particularly in the management. They look for managers that can come in and help them run their hotels and the resorts. Likewise, head chefs. You know, the head chef, I think you've got to be about 5 years, I think, is it, to train to become a head chef. But again, you know, it's an opportunity for you. I've got to be truthful, it's not my cup of tea. I couldn't think of anything worse than sitting in a hot kitchen in a hot country every day, you know. But listen, at the end of the day, it's just an opinion, and it's just my own personal thoughts. But you might be a qualified chef and a head chef, and you might want to come out here to work. You know, we've got some beautiful resorts. I mean, particularly here, you've got like the Dusit Thani. Dusit Thani is just stunning. Royal Cliff is beautiful. You know, we've got some really, really nice places, and they're just two that spring to mind that are based here. But there are literally hundreds and hundreds of hotels and big resorts, particularly on the islands. So, you know, again, it goes back to what I'm saying about email, never say never. You just don't know what's awaiting you. So one thing that will help you a lot is if you are multilingual. If you can speak languages, it doesn't have to be Thai. Remember, you're dealing with the tourists that are coming here. So if, you know, you're speaking French or German or Italian, whatever, you know, their tourists that come here might be from that country. It may well be an asset for you to be able to say, well, by the way, I can speak 2 languages, 3 languages, etc., etc. NGOs, which is a non-government organization. These are very, very difficult to get. You might be lucky. It's really quite, you know, tough, to be honest with you. One of the downsides to these kind of organizations is that it's a temporary position, so it will only be based on a term, and those are term funded projects. So it might be saying to you, right, we've got a 2-year project that we want to work on. You can get a job out here for 2 years, which is great, but in that 2 years, when it comes to an end, chances are that will be it, done and dusted, and it's unlikely that you'll move on to a different project, because they are very, very specific in their terms. And the best way to do it is, without me trying to explain it, is just Google NGO opportunities Thailand, non-government organisation opportunities here in Thailand, and you'll see what I'm talking about. One thing that generally does need to be a requirement is you do need to have a reasonable hold on the language. If you can't speak Thai, generally speaking, you're going to struggle with those. Online work. You know, the one thing that's changed in this world over the last sort of 20, 30 years is the digital environment that we live in. And it is part and package of everyday life now. You know, it really is. So online work is often available. And again, you know, go to these big companies, the insurance companies. You know, do they need any marketing support? Do they need any accountancy support? Do they need any digital support? Go to the big companies here and ask about online customer support. You know, if they're selling a service or providing a service to another country, they may well need online support. So again, you know, just think outside the box, guys. Don't keep yourself to, oh, well, I only do this, I can't do that. You know, think outside the box. You'll be surprised what you can find. Copywriting. Remember, you know, if they're sending out documentation, be it on their website, be it anywhere, you know, email list, all those kind of things, they might need a copywriter, particularly these big branded companies. So again, you know, it doesn't hurt to target the top, and who knows, you might get a hit further down the road. Online stores. You know, again, these are opportunities where you can go out and you can work for these companies, and maybe it'll be pushing the products, maybe working as a subcontractor. You know, have a look at these opportunities because they really are out there. Now the last one, I've left this one till last for a particular reason, and that is owning your own business out here. So like with Buzzin is a registered company, but it comes with a lot of paperwork and a lot of requirements. And yes, when you own your own company, first thing you need to do is you need to have 4 staff, be it working with you daily or working with you remotely. You need to have 4 Thai staff. That is a requirement. But the other side of the coin is you can only own 49% of the company, meaning that you need to make sure whoever you give the other 51% to, be it 2, 3, 4 partners, you need to make sure you can trust them. So be it maybe your wife or someone like that, where you will get the overruling share in terms of, like, let's say you give your wife 20%, you own 49% and the other remaining partners own less. Well, then that gives you the majority when you say to your wife, come on sweetheart, we're doing this, and she says, yes my darling. You might have a problem when she says, no my darling, then you might have to figure out a way around that. But basically, you need to make sure you hold the lion's share. When you do a business, you will get a work permit. You will get a work permit and the opportunity to stay here on a long-term visa. So these are things that you might need to consider. And you know, think about what you do back home, think about what's out here. Is there a way you can integrate that into your system and open up your own company? I strongly recommend looking at online. You know, online is very, very flexible. It gives you a huge spectrum of work out there, and it gives you the opportunity to travel. And of course, if it's online, you know, when you do come out here, there's a massive difference. People don't realize this. You come here on holiday, that's fine. You have a fantastic time, you have lots of memories, you go home, jobs are good, and you get back to normality and you start working ready for your next holiday. When you come out here to live, that's a whole different ball game. And you will find in time that things that never ever bothered you in the past will slightly bother you, may even really irritate you in the long term. So, you know, you do need the flexibility to be able to up sticks and go back should things not work out, which is why I say about online, because again, it gives you that flexibility to work anywhere you want. Thailand's an amazing country. It's a beautiful place. It's my home. It has been my home now for over 10 years, and I will very, very unlikely to leave it. I'll be very unlikely to leave it. So, having said that, there are things that, you know, still do upset me a little bit and niggle me that never used to bother me, but it's just day-to-day living, and it's the same wherever you are around the world, so it doesn't really matter. But be prepared. What I would say is, before you up sticks and move out here, maybe try, as hard as it might be, try to spend some long-term here. You know, I'm talking 3 months, maybe 6 months. Just try and get yourself out here where it doesn't become a holiday, it becomes real life. And then make your decisions, because the last thing you want to do, guys, is you come here on holiday, you live in the dream, oh, I'd really love to live out here, I want to work out here. And then you do that, you go back to your home country, you break your commitment there, you come out here, and then you figure out a year down the road or 6 months down the road, man, why did I do that? The last thing you want to be is in a position that you're in, because that is a real problem. All right, so there you go, guys. Now, what I would ask, please, is if you are working out here, or you've worked out here, or you're considering working out here, guys, drop a comment, share your information. That's what makes the community here that we have on Buzzin so special, is that we've got a depth and a wealth of information available. So if you are thinking about it, you know, and also if I've missed anything, listen, this is just an overview. I'm no guru, I don't know everything about this place. I'm just sharing some things that I do think about, that I've seen other people do. So have a look in your own mindset and think to yourself, well, actually, you could have done this. And if it is an opportunity, drop it down, let us know, share that information. So there you go, guys. That's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't had a look, please have a look at Patreon. It really is a fantastic platform we've got now. There's a lot of exciting projects in there. There's a lot of benefits, a lot of things that are not available on here that are in there, and I'll leave that there with you. So that's it from me, guys. So as always, if you wouldn't mind, please hit the subscribe button. It really does help me. And if you'd like to be notified, please hit the bell icon, and I will bring a video out every day to you at 9 o'clock in the morning. And likewise, guys, if you do want to get a lot of information, jump on Discord. We've got nearly 14,000 people in there now, which is fantastic. And there's a lot of information there, guys. Have a look. And if you would like to support the YouTube aspect of what we do, there is a link down in the description below. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, please, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.